Hello Stats class, this is some problems from the 6.3 homework. I'm just going to show you how to do a couple of different ones on your calculator and then with StatCrunch if you choose to do it with that. Okay, this is very similar to the problems in 6.2, the videos that I did for those. The only difference is our distribution is no longer standard normal, it is just some normal distribution. A lot of them are IQ scores, and the mean's 100, standard deviation's 15. But the way you do this, if you're told to find probability or area, you're going to use the normal CDF if you have a normal distribution, that is. So second var's normal CDF, its job is to take in a lower number, an upper number, the mean and the standard deviation, and tell you the area between the lower number and upper number in that normal curve. So our lower number here is 106, our upper number is 130, our mean is 100, and our standard deviation is 15, and then hit enter, and then there's our answer. The area of the shaded region is 0.3218. Alright, now if we wanted to use StatCrunch for this, I would click question help, there's StatCrunch. It'll open up, once I turn off my pop-up blocker. So here's StatCrunch. For this same problem, I would want, you just look at the picture, I would use stat calculators normal. Alright, and it's got a picture here. It gives you a standard. Standard means strictly less than or greater than. Okay. This one is between because we have a lower number and upper number, and we're going between two numbers. So this is a between probability. It wants to know the mean and the standard deviation first, and then it wants the probability that x is between what two values. So 106 and 130. Alright, we just type the lower number, upper number, mean, standard deviation, and it gives us that same number. Okay, that is the StatCrunch version of how to do this problem. Nice thing about StatCrunch is it allows you to see, does this match up with what you're wanting it to be? And if you had, if your red area was over here somewhere, then you knew something got set up wrong. Alright, now it can handle problems with area to the left or the right of a certain number, like right here we're just strictly to the right, strictly to the left of 75. That's still on your calculator, that would still be normal CDF. But when we're not given a lower number on the calculator, I always tell you guys to just put in some big negative number. So negative 9999, comma, and then the upper number where the shading stops is 75. And then the mean and standard deviation are still what they were the first time. So comma 15, so I get 0.0478. 0.0478. Alright, and then if I were to do the same problem with StatCrunch, alright, same thing as before, we got stat calculators normal. Okay, this is a standard one because it is just strictly below a number. So again, put in our mean, our standard deviation, and x is lower than or less than. Okay, it's going to the left. You can think of this as like an arrow pointing to the way the shading goes. So this is less than 75. Okay, so there's our 0.04779 again. Okay, the same thing again. We see same region is shaded. So either way, we'll do it the same way. Now, the variation on these, just like in the last section, comes when you're given an area, you're given the probability or the area, and you want to find the number. So in 6.2, this was a z-score, and it was just like a positive or negative number. But with a mean of 100 and standard deviation of 15, we're not going to get any negative numbers here. It's just going to be numbers in and around 100. So same thing as before. When we did this in 6.2, if we were given area and we were finding a number that was inverse normal, and you always provide an area to the left. So the area to the left of the number is 0.8. And then you just tell it now. That used to be all we needed, but now we need mean and standard deviation. So mean is 100, standard deviation is 15. And there's our number, 112. Usually want one place. Yeah, 112.6. Alright, with StatCrunch, it's a little bit different. It's that same calculator, so stat calculators normal. This is a standard probability because we're just to the left of some number, so we're going to keep it to the left. We're going to give it the mean is 100, the standard deviation is 15. But now we know the area, we know this box. We don't know the number which will show up in this box. So when we put in 0.8 here, notice this box goes empty, and then when we hit compute, they'll compute what goes in this box. So 112.62, just like we got there. Okay, so you fill in the mean standard deviation, and then you're going to fill in one of these boxes. You fill in this box if it's a normal CDF problem on the calculator. You fill in this box if it was an inverse normal problem on the calculator. Okay, and this number is the number on the axis that we're looking for. All right, let's try another one like that. Let's do one to the right. So if it's to the right, the only thing you have to remember is inverse normal takes in area to the left. Right, this takes an area to the left. This is area to the right. Well, the whole thing is equal to 1. So you can do one of two things. You can subtract it beforehand and get 0.15 for the area to the left, or you can literally do it on your calculator if it's something that you don't want to bother with doing in your head, or if you just want a little shortcut formula to use the number that's in there. If the area is to the right, it's 1 minus that area, comma, mean standard deviation. So mean is 100. Standard deviation is 15, and again there's our number, 0.84 to 1 decimal place 845, or sorry, 84.5. Alright, StatCrunch, same thing. The only difference is with StatCrunch we don't have to make this adjustment. We can just go ahead straight into the calculator, and it has the ability to switch this to go to the right side. Alright, so the mean is 100, standard deviation is 15, and we know the area on the right side, right, is 0.85. That goes blank, compute, and there's that number again. Alright, so either one's going to give you the same numbers. It's just, you know, which one do you have access to? Everybody has access to this. You'll have access to both on the quizzes and the tests. So if you haven't practiced with this, practice with this and get used to it. If you want to have something that's free that'll be on the test, if you've already got one of these and you want to continue to use it, then just practice these. When to use, the big thing for this chapter is when to use 2 versus 3 for these menus, normal CDF and inverse normal.